Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Sam's Garage. Today we're going to be going over the 05 Chevy 1500. When I got this truck, it had a 4.3 in it, and I swapped it over to the 5.3. I'm going to show you all everything I had to do in order to swap everything over from the 4.3 to the 5.3 and how to get your project going. Alright guys, so first of all, this truck's not perfect. We're about to get in under the hood. I'll show you what's under there. So under the hood, it's pretty basic. You know, everything you think that you might need. So for starters, you're gonna need the air intake, the whole portion of it. It's different because the 4.3 is up here on top. My truck was a 2005, so I only have one fuel line right here. And so my 4.3 had one fuel line, hooked right up, no problem. I'm still running the 4.3 pump. Have not had any issues. So for the wiring, you know, I was overthinking this and overthinking, oh, you need to get it out of this. 99 to 02 drive-by wire, pretty much all the same. You know, there are some minor differences that you might have to change, but for the most part, they're all the same. And 03 to 07 Classic is all about the same. There might be a little bit of wiring you have to do. This one is actually out of a 2005 Chevy Avalanche. And as you can tell, this is not an Avalanche. Everybody told me it wasn't going to work, but it does. Everything works. And one thing I want to mention, if you have this on your ground wire, you want to get a harness with that already on it. You don't want to try to put yours on it or whatever. But let's go into details about the swap. So first thing you're going to need are motor mounts that go to the frame. The part that the engine motor mount sits on, and it has the 3 bolts. You can pick those up at your local junkyard. They'll probably give them to you. I mean, normally they just get scrapped. So, just what you gotta do. I bought this motor off Facebook Marketplace for $450. Came with a harness. I had to do a little bit of repair over here. But for the most part, that's all good. Soldered all these wires together. I still have to get AC lines. And I believe I have to get an accumulator, but I'll figure that out here in a couple weeks, because the 4.3 one runs over and then over here to where the alternator is, and on the 5.3s they don't do that. So you basically are going to remove everything here. Remove it. You know, when I pulled all the wiring out with it, you got one ground wire right here. I disconnected left the trans in the truck. That's what I'm trying to say. I left the trans in the truck. Didn't even change the front seal out, which I'm done for it, but you know, it was 11 o'clock at night, and you know, Riley's ain't open. I'm not waiting until the next morning. You know, that's just kind of the way I am. So next thing, for your steam port, where is it? It runs through your throttle body. It's actually this line right here. So I got a newer radiator because mine was leaking where the plastic and aluminum meet down there. So mine already has the place for the steam port down there. But if you're running the 4.3 radiator, you can get a T and tee it in up here with this upper hose, or tap into your water pump right about there. You know, it's 100% up to you what you do. And so for heater hoses, I got one brand new hose and one I just kind of adapted, as you can see right there. So I should have just did one whole one, but I didn't. This here, there's a plug that goes under it. My plug on this harness is actually broke, but there's a plug for low coolant. You can hook that up, but you don't have to. I'm not running it. Oh, I'm trying to find it. I can't seem to find it, but there is a plug on the bottom of the V8 ones, which this one's still out of the 4.3, so I mean, I'm not running it. There's also, I'm not sure if they're on the 4.3 trucks. This truck had a cold air intake when I got it. There's a flat plate that goes under the box to mount it. I don't have that. But, so that's just something else to look out for when you're doing the swap. When you pull this up, you're gonna wanna come down here, pull those out and pull up. This whole thing will lift up. You got, I believe it's a 7mm right here, runs to the power wire. It's actually this wire right here, if you can see that. Runs up here. There's 2 tabs you pull out. Fuse box comes up, 7mm bolt. your full harness right here unplugs. There's a blue connector, a little black connector, and a bigger black connector. The little black connectors for the 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, and 4-wheel drive harnesses are the same. You just don't use that harness, or you just don't use that connector. This is a 2-wheel drive truck. This is a 4-wheel drive harness, and I'll start it up for you here in a second. A lot of people tell you that the 4-3 bell housings are different. They are not. They are, you know, everything bolts up down there. I checked torque converter clearance. Everything works great. There's not a whole lot more to really go over about. If you don't have the electric fans, you're going to run a clutch fan, or if you don't want to run the clutch fan, you can go to a 03 to 07 class and get these here. You can also get the wiring and the little fuse box that's right under here for them. Has the relays and everything. Pretty easy to do that swap also. I am running the heavy duty radiator, so I do have the oil killer, although it's not hooked up because just that's more potential leak. Let's see. For tuning, I actually bought a OBD link and downloaded PCM Hammer onto my computer, and I actually did all the tuning myself. And I forgot some codes, so my check engine light's on, but I've drove this thing probably 2,000 miles since the swap. I have not had any issues at all. Factory 4.3 Y pipe bolts directly up to the 5.3 manifolds. No problem there. I recommend changing the donut gaskets. I change all the exhaust gaskets because I'm already there. I also recommend changing the intake gaskets. I did that because I was there. Just check for vacuum leaks all around. I epoxied this little piece here on because it got knocked off. There was a crack in the back of the intake. I also epoxied. New belt, you know, just the normal things. Got new coolant. Didn't change the trans fluid because it's a 260,000 mile 4L60. You know, if it's working fine now, why touch it? So let me go inside and we'll fire this baby up and I'll show y'all. The only thing that I haven't quite figured out yet is the tack, and I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. So we're going to get in here. Let me turn it. So if you see, the tack is actually off. You know, it's probably sitting at about 800 right now, so it's in between 400 and 600 off. I do have all the lights on. Don't know why the airbag light's on. You don't have to touch anything for the airbag. ABS light's on because of front left wheel speed sensor. Check engine light. I forgot to take a rear O2 sensor code out. That will be coming out soon. But as you can see, I mean, there she is. Everything's working. But shut her off. All right, guys, we'll start her back up. Sorry about that. I had to turn my Bluetooth off. Here she is. Smooth running. Sounds like a sewing machine up here. No exhaust leak. One thing I will recommend, that very back bolt on this manifold, I recommend y'all putting that on before you bolt the motor down, because if not, you're going 1/8 of a turn at a time on a bolt this long, and it took me probably, I'm gonna say, a good 24 minutes to put that single bolt in back there. This side's pretty simple. Everything bolts up. And I got a cheap eBay exhaust on here. This is what we got. And an exhaust leak up there, but we'll get to that. Here she is. So if y'all have any questions or anything, just feel free to comment. You know, I normally answer questions. I try to do it immediate when I get the notification, but you know, sometimes with work and all, I'm just a normal guy. I go to work every day. I'm going to be trying to roll out videos every week now, or at least one video every 2 weeks, you know, just something like that, get more consistent. But if y'all would like a video on how to do the PCM hammer, I could also show y'all that. That literally took me, very first time I did, 30 minutes. Takes 20 minutes to read the computer with the OBD link I got. Go in there, delete the codes. I'm gonna say 10 minutes if you don't know what you're doing. and then test drive 5 minutes, and then full flash 5 more minutes. So not like it takes that long. I think I just gave y'all 35-40 minutes, but y'all get what I'm saying. Not that long for your first time, and it actually saved me. I'm into about $80. You can get on eBay and you can buy those computers all day long for 140. So you know, it did save me some money, and then I've also tuned some for other people and made all my money back. So that's just the way I like to do it. But this is the current project. I'm hoping sometime this year we get a Pro Charger for this. You know, I think it'd be pretty cool, a single cab short bed 2-wheel drive with a Pro Charger sticking right here. I don't know, just let me know what y'all think. I'm kind of in between Pro Charger and turbo. You know, we could put the turbo over here. Only thing is, you know, we'll have to make a crossover pipe that goes under the back. I won't run a hood exit, so I will run it back under the truck. And then an intercooler, or I guess I could just go from here straight into the intake. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about turbo systems, but Pro Charger makes a system for $8 grand, you know, that'll bolt on here. I want to do headers on the truck, long tubes, and just, you know, have a fun little daily. I daily this truck. It's just been a good truck. So, and a lot of y'all are going to say, oh, why didn't you just buy the truck with a V8 already? I picked this truck up for $2 grand. And you know, in my area, that's pretty good for these. You know, but the catch was it had the 4.3 in it. You know, a lot of guys are going to stay away from these trucks because they got the 4.3. But let me tell you, the 4.3 is a good motor. I drove 3.5 hours one way to go get that 5.3 that's in here now. And, you know, I don't regret it at all. Sold that 4.3 for $100. You could actually probably sell that 4.3 out of your truck for $500. You know, that could help you a lot. Put the money back into the truck. You won't even have much into the swap if you know what you're doing. And I could have done that, but I needed it out of the bed of my truck. These wheels are 275 55 20s. They do rev a little bit, and I'm not sure where, but we will be getting different tires because these are not very good. This side needs a wheel bearing, but that's why the ABS light's on. Let's see if I can get y'all back here. I don't know if you can see it right there, but that ABS wire is broke. So that's what we're going to be working on here the next couple weeks or so. I'm also going to try to roll out a video on the Nova. Carburetor needs rebuilt bad. I can put it around town, but I can barely give it any gas. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This is Sam's Garage. If you like the content, please subscribe. But if not, I understand also. So just let me know if y'all want to see more on the truck. You know, I can do more stuff to it, and I can show you all the tuning part if y'all would like to. Just leave a comment in the comment section. And thanks for watching.